The scene opens in a garden. An indigenous man is working. The indigenous girl is sitting, relaxing, and drinking water. Another indigenous man is serving the indigenous girl. The working indigenous man sees his friend being served water, and he envies his friend. She tells the indigenous man to bring water for his friend to drink together. The indigenous man brings a glass of water for his friend. As he hands it over, he pulls it back to take a sip. His friend gets angry. The indigenous man playfully swirls the glass of water around his friend's face, teasing him. His friend sulks. The indigenous man places his hand under his buttocks, farts into it, and then wafts it towards his friend, making it smell awful. He promptly offers it to his friend to smell. His friend cannot bear it and quickly stands up to chase him. The indigenous man punches his friend's right eye. Both indigenous men rush out with guns and start shooting at each other. The girl sees her friend being shot, so she grabs a hammer and rushes out to hit the other indigenous man's head. Another indigenous man comes out and talks to the girl. The girl says she will bandage the wounded indigenous man. It's unclear why the indigenous girl is holding a knife. It seems she intends to discipline the indigenous man. Another indigenous man asks the girl to let him fight. It seems he fights very painfully. The indigenous man lies on the ground trying to endure the pain. The indigenous man turns the stick and then strikes it very hard on his friend's buttocks, causing him to spray water. The girl asks the indigenous man to help his friend up, and the indigenous man rushes out to assist him. The indigenous girl feels hot and tells the indigenous man to go fetch water for her. Another indigenous man, enraged, watches the indigenous girl dote only on her friend. He then leaves. While walking away, he stops, but it's unclear where he's headed.
Alright, where do you want to go? What? What do you say?
The
Okay,
indigenous
follow
man
me.
asks the soldier to let him into the base, and the soldier agrees, leading him in. Sinkman is seen practicing on the parallel bars.
Yeah. Alright, follow me.
The
Come
soldier
on.
leads the indigenous man to where Sinkman is.
Look here, wait a moment. Boss. It's me.
The soldier
Alright,
almost gets
what's
punched by
up?
Sinkman,
Someone wants
saying
to
there's
meet
someone
you.
who wants to see him. The soldier sits down and bows to the boss. Sinkman enters, and the indigenous man follows.
Alright, come here. Alright, what do you want? Boss, let me get him some clothes. Okay.
The
Alright,
boss
hold up.
notices
Yes,
the
sir.
indigenous man and tells the soldier to get clothes for him.
Alright.
The soldier brings out clothes and tells the indigenous man to change. While the two indigenous men are drinking water, they don't notice their friend. The girl doesn't care. After changing clothes, they laugh at the indigenous man for wearing shoes on her.
Alright, heavy. Yes, sir. Alright.
The soldier tells the indigenous man to put on the shoes.
Yeah. Very good. Good job. Alright, come here. Alright, to the outside. Hold up.
Okay.
Wait, what do you want to tell me?
The indigenous man tells Sinkman that there are plenty of guns where he is.
Good. Okay, follow me. Let's go.
Sinkman
Dig it.
stands up,
Let's go.
grabs a gun, and heads to the indigenous man's location.
What you listen?
This way.
Let's go.
The indigenous man pretends to give directions to them.
Boss, that's right.
Yeah.
They spot the girl and the indigenous man playing there.
Alright, fire.
Sinkman orders them to rush in and shoot the girl and the female indigenous person.
Go.
They quickly hide in a nearby barrel. The indigenous man pretends to sneak out from behind. The girl grabs a rifle and runs off, with Sinkman chasing after her. The indigenous man is still hiding there. The indigenous man shoots for a while, then runs away. The indigenous man pretends to sneak out again, claiming he just wants water. The indigenous man gets shot by the soldier's bullet, falling to the ground. The indigenous man pretends to hear gunshots and rushes out. He sees his friend being shot. The indigenous man, angry, quickly runs to the soldier, but the soldier pushes him aside.
You all be done here. Look here.
The indigenous man angrily lowers his head. The indigenous man, heartbroken, drops the gun and walks away. The girl stops at a wooden barrier and shoots at Sinkman.
Give it to me.
Seeing the boss approaching, the girl quickly runs away. that moment, the girl unfortunately gets shot in the leg by the soldier. Sinkman walks over to grab the rifle from his hand. Before he can enjoy it, the Indigenous man approaches with a gun and shoots the soldier and Sinkman. He helps the girl up, takes the rifle, and they happily walk away together. Two natives are hunting for prey. Suddenly, they see from afar an amusement park. The two eagerly run towards it. The two natives are excited to climb onto the merry-go-round and play. But soon, the two natives become bored again. The two natives move on to another game. Each game brings its own excitement. They jump from one game to another mischievously. A beautiful girl is selling high-quality guns.
Beautiful gun.
She looks disappointed because no one is buying. Her friend is also waving to everyone to buy guns.
Buy gun, buy gun. Everyone buy gun.
The friend approaches her, and they look at the little money they earned with unhappy faces. They feel sad because they made so little money. The two girls stand up again and invite people to buy their products.
Buy gun.
From afar, Sinkman and two robbers are walking down the street. They stop and look ahead, where two beautiful girls are selling goods. Upon seeing this, Sinkman calls the two robbers over to strategize. The robbers give Sinkman a gun and move forward. The two girls suddenly notice someone passing by and call out.
Hey, hey.
The two robbers also pretend to approach and sit down to look at the guns.
Hey, come here.
Your gun is so beautiful.
It's very cheap.
The two girls enthusiastically provide advice.
To any of them.
One robber starts to touch the girl's hand, and she angrily pushes him
Will
away.
you buy it?
Seeing this, the robber takes out a large sum of money to make a purchase. Another girl also gives a gun to the robber,
Yeah, so good.
but he looks at the money on the chair.
Yeah.
The girl,
Hey.
not seeing the robber
Hey.
respond, raises her voice. The two natives see a car approaching and rush to see. They are surprised looking at the car. Suddenly, one native thinks of something and tells his friend to act together. They do something they shouldn't have done. The car door opens and a young man appears. The native calls his friend, but he is enjoying himself. The young man speaks loudly, and the two natives laugh and then run away. Sinkman quietly walks from behind. When the two girls are not paying attention, he takes all the money from the chair. The girl turns around and discovers Sinkman taking the money and tells him to stop. The robber sees this and knocks the girl out.
Yeah, sit. Huh?
Another robber threatens the girl with a gun.
You got.
Sinkman laughs joyfully. The beautiful girl gets angry, and Sinkman and the robber laugh louder.
Hi.
Sinkman sees the girl from head to toe. Perfect. He whispers something in the robber's ear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The robber knocks the girl out. Sinkman orders the robber to take the girl to the base, while the other robber takes the guns. All three left in a hurry. The two natives approach and see a dramatic scene. The two natives see another girl lying still. They quickly go to check if the girl is dead or not. The native checks and still sees the girl alive. The native signaled to his friend to perform artificial respiration to wake up the girl. The native kissed his girlfriend, and the girl woke up and slapped him unconscious. The girl is frightened to check her body, but the native quickly said nothing happened. The girl looked around and didn't see her friend anywhere. The native explained everything to her.
What's Sila? Tensum.
The angry girl immediately picked up a gun and went to find her. The two natives saw that and followed the girl. The girl didn't know which way her friend had been taken, so the native asked his teammate to lie down and listen. All three went in the direction of footsteps. The robbers put the girl on the stairs. Sinkman laughed, looking at the girl. Sinkman approached the girl. He ordered the two robbers to go out on guard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The girl and the two natives were still looking. Two robbers were talking while walking. A native saw the robbers and told the girl. She immediately shot at them. Sinkman planned to play, but he heard gunfire and took the gun. The girl kept shooting continuously at the robbers. Two robbers rushed out to shoot back at her. The two natives saw that and shot arrows at the robbers. The robbers turned and shot at the natives.
No way.
The girl hid behind a tree and came out to shoot the injured robber. Sinkman approached and shot at the girl. He and the robber shot the girl. The two natives saw that and shot arrows at Sinkman. He avoided but hit the robber. Sinkman saw it and shot at the natives. The girl woke up inside. She heard gunfire and picked up a gun next to her. The girl hid behind a tree and came out to shoot the robber. Sinkman ran away. They quickly chased after him.
Hey, you stop!
The girl hid behind the wall and prepared to shoot at Sinkman and wounded him.
Stay up!
The girl was angry because of what happened.
Go.
She punched him in the face. Two girls held guns to control Sinkman. Two natives happily followed.